Welcome to the Mulligan Menace. Today we're playing a Dimir Faeries deck. This list I actually got from an SCG event that went 5-0. At least that's what the data was showing for it. All in all, this is the whole basis is you have different fairies that you're dropping. You're trying to do a lot of damage, but the key is you got a lot of flash creatures in here. So this is kind of a take on the old Dimir deck that was out there with all the different flashes, with having the Kaito available to you as well. And then you have your card draw with the Enduring Curiosity. But the big new card in this deck is Bitterbloom Bearer. This card is awesome. It's a 2 mana cost, 2 black pips that is. Flash, flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token with flying. So yes, it does damage to you, but sometimes when you play cards like Cecil, you want damage to be given to you. So you'll be able to have a combination with those. That's a neat little combo in the deck, as well as Spell Stutter. Spell Stutter's a 2 casting cost counter target spell unless its controller pays 2, plus an additional 1 for each fairy you control. You can imagine with a Bitterbloom Bearer in play, you're going to have a lot of fairies in play, which means you can counter almost anything with the Spell Stutter, which is awesome in that situation. Other cards in the deck, we do have one of the Flitterwing Nuisance. This is a new card. This one also allows you to stop combat damage, which is nice. Spell Snare, just an awesome, with all the removal going on with at 2 casting costs, this is a great card for that. Cecil, we got 3 of. We do have Dream Thief too. The nice thing with the Dream Thief, you can get a cheap drop. You can block with it. You don't really care because you can get that in your graveyard. If you have open mana at the end of turn, or end of their turn, you can draw a card and lose 1 life. Just a nice all-around card. Also a nice target for Kaito, because then you can surveil multiple times by dropping it again. The new removal spell, Hex. This has been a champion in a lot of the black decks that you've been seeing, so we have 2 of those in here. Bitter Triumph, just something to remove planeswalkers in addition to creatures. Shoot the Sheriff, we have 2 of those as well. A little bit more removal. We have the Lendra. This is a new card as well. 3 casting cost, flash, flying. This creature enters with -1/-1 counter on it, and then has that awesome ability to remove a counter from this creature. Target non-creature spell. Counter target non-creature spell. Its controller draws a card. Neat ability. One thing to remember, you can actually put multiple counters on it by using the Requiting Hex. So if you cast Requiting Hex when you have that in play, you can put another counter on it, which gives you the ability to counter multiple non-creature spells. So neat combination going on there. Obviously, Kaito is a bomb in this. We do have starting towns that allows you to take damage to help you with the Knight, as well as 4 multiversal passages, 4 watery graves. All those lands allow you to take damage, which then trigger to help get down to 10 life for the Cecil. We also do have 2 Restless Reefs, so if they do manage to have sorcery speed removal, sweep the board so you don't have anything on the board, you could still attack in and get some damage. We do have 2 Soulstone Sanctuaries as well, but that doesn't get around sorcery speed after you turn it on, where Restless Reef does. All in all, this is actually a really fun deck. You're going to see it plays out really well. Definitely got to watch your combinations of when you play things. I know there's a couple times that I didn't play the Drowner at the correct time. But all in all, this is a blast to play. And if you could, hit that subscribe button below. New videos every single day, fairly new channel, trying to get to 3,000 subs, so I appreciate it. Hit that like button, and let's get into the video. All right, let's look at this. We got 3 land. We got the Drowner, Curiosity. We have a Bitter Bearer. Bitterbloom Bearer, we'll keep it. This is really good with Curiosity, so we'll get the tap land in. We can flash this in at the end of their turn, or figure out what we want to do here. Firebending Ascension. They'll get a 2/2. Alright, Drowner. Can't do a whole lot with that. Attacking. think we'll be getting Curiosity down next turn. So we can draw 2 cards. The Drowner is going to be this turn. They're going to do that. We'll just get the Drowner down. Tap that. We're going to do a firebending trick. Alright, that's fine. Are you going to kill that? Still triggers. Saves them from me drawing a card. Yeah, they should have done that last turn. Let's get this down. We'll get this down just so we can draw 1 card at least. We can do a Drowner and a Bitter Triumph next turn. Get in for a lot more if we need to. Firebending is a concern. Firebending triggers the Ascension. Okay. Both are good removal candidates. Oh. Alright, they got that. Might just kill this with the Curiosity if we attack in. They could pump it, but I think it's still worth throwing the Curiosity in front of there. And then we can get rid of it and then kill the, or tap the soldier next turn. Draw some more cards. Really strange, but okay. We'll take it. We're only going to do these 2 next turn. I'm not going to drop a land yet. I'll attack in first. Draw 2 cards. Too much land. Let's just go for a tap land. And we'll go for Island. Out. And we can Bitter Triumph, discard a land, and we also have the Drowner as well. I only have 1 card in hand. Alright, we'll probably just fire this up then. Okay, all pretty good lands. Or cards, I should say. This has flash, this has flash. We're going to end up discarding some land here. We now have 3 spells available to us, as long as it's one of those. Oh, we can tap that down. All right, good game. All right, let's look at this. We got no fairies, but we got Dark Knight into Drowner and removal. We'll keep it. Get that down right away. Okay, we'll be able to tap that. Playing against the Goblin deck, kind of looks like we are. Could have actually waited until their turn to do this, and that way we could have still sacrificed it. Let's get this going. We could have just dropped the passage there as well. I will block here if they try attacking in. They should have a removal for this, I'm guessing. Alright, black. Put it tapped. Attack in. And it flips. Oh no, never mind. We have to go down to 4. I was looking at the wrong life total. At least we have the spell stutter. Please attack in. Thank you. Well, that's pretty good. Could have held off on the land. Probably drew a card. Wouldn't have mattered, but could have. What do we got for 1 casting cost in our deck? We could have had like a nuisance or a spell snare we could have kept open, or green thief, X. We had quite a bit. I think we'll wait till the beginning of our upkeep for that. Let's just attack in. Okay, that prevents us from drawing, which is pretty good. Fortunately, this will give us an extra creature. Did draw an awful lot of land here. That tapped. Turn. We'll flash this in at the end of their turn. Okay, Bastronaut. They're tapped out. They can attack in. We fortunately can have light. We have lifelink now, which is awesome. They can block this. Oh wow! I don't think I would have done that. I mean, I don't think it really matters at the end here. Gainer life. These have indestructible, which is nice. Yep. Ooh, another one. We'll see if we want to counter anything. If we counter, we can't cast Bear. Okay, Mob Boss. Has to be a non-creature spell. We might as well flash that in too. Activate that. Get the maximum draw here. We're going to take 5 in the air. Alright. Well, we got quite a bit here. Let's do this. Don't have anything that can kill that. Let's do this. We can tap the Mob Boss.
Bet you didn't expect to see me. Take a break.
That should help prevent him from doing some tricks. And good game. Alright, we have 3 land here. Drowner, Spell Stutter, Cecil, and Bitterbloom. We'll keep this hand. It's actually a decent hand here. Opponent does go first on this one. We'll cast the Knight and then keep up the Spell Stutter. Endure Curiosity is nice as well. Need to find that 4th land. Let's see here. Esper Origins, okay. Almost like a life gain. Combo deck, maybe? The Verge out first. Get this one out last. Attack in. That'll let go through. Get this one out. We'll do that. We'll attack in. All right. We are rocking and rolling here. Let's see what they got going. Turn 3. This is kind of an interesting deck here. All right, elves. I think we do this just to slow them down, because it almost looks like they're short on mana. Alright, good game. Alright, we go first. We'll keep this one. I think we just get starting town down, maybe? And then we can Cecil. Awkward because we can't get 2 black mana right away, but... Okay. I think we drop the Verge, keep up Spell Stare. Well, if we're going to do that, maybe we do that. We'll let them block if they want. And turn. Want to get rid of the reach. Base power and toughness. Okay. We just throw this out there so we can get an attacker in. Alright, we'll attack in. Oh, we'll just do that. Kind of a 2-for-1 there, so that wasn't such a bad thing for us. We don't get the Bitterbloom out right away, unfortunately. Ooh, spell stare that. They do have their land here, so that's something to note. I do think we drop the Knight, and then we can do Bitterbloom Bear next turn. At the end of their turn, that is. Okay, Innkeeper's Talent. Can't do a whole lot for that. Okay. There we go. Lose some more life. We'll lose life from this. And unfortunately, we don't go down far enough here. We will attack in. And turn. Cecil will flip next turn. Badgermole Cub. Kill Badgermole. Means he doesn't get the double trigger. So if he has a 3 casting cost item, he can't cast it now. That will get a +1 on that, though. Okay, or 10. We can shoot this. I don't know if it makes sense to be honest with you. Okay, they might do a trick here, which we might just end up shooting it. Has Ward 1. There we go. which means Dark Knight doesn't flip, unfortunately. Alright, we can do this. Discard a card. Yes, I'm sure. Discard that one. Auto pay. All attack. Okay, we take 2. This flips. There we go. We're in pretty good shape now. We'll go down to 6 here. Next turn, getting another fairy. He can turn on a land. That ain't gonna do a whole lot. That gives him a 3/3. Yep, good game. Alright, opponent goes first on this one. We do have 3 land, 2 Tidebinder, shoot the Sheriff, Drowner. We'll try it. Get the Restless Reef down first. Alright, we playing a Lessons deck here. I think we just flash in one of these at the end of their turn. Not a Lessons deck, I don't think. I mean, it could be, but White's an interesting ad. Okay. Well, this makes it a little bit awkward. I think we just get one out. I can't counter the ability if this just drops. Do that. Let's hope that one goes through. That's fine. We'll get some draws here. Always good to draw cards. You want to do that when you can. It is unfortunate we're tapped out, so you always kind of want to play that at the end of your turn, but we wanted to get additional cards because we don't have a whole lot going on in our hand here. We have a roper. I did notice that this Faeries deck tends to put off a lot of people quickly. So either they do a really early concede, or they tend to start roping, which is kind of interesting because you wouldn't expect it from this deck. But I guess people hate flash creatures. People hate when you draw cards. If you guys play a similar deck, or if you try this one out, let me know in the comments if you're seeing it as well. Kind of interesting. Ooh. Okay. I might just flash that one in so we have other stuff up. We could even double. All right. Only got rid of half of them. Well, more than half, I guess. We'll put this in. We'll pay 2 life. Let's just tack in the one creature. We're going to hold that open so we got other spells. Quite a bit of interaction in her hand, which is nice. We'll try getting this one in. I don't think it's going to be successful. That is okay with me. So we'll still get a double card draw. Spell Stutter's kind of nice. We don't have any fairies, though. We can't trigger the authority. That was a misplay. We'll keep it on top. Okay, he's trying to find some stuff. If he does try casting anything else, we can spell Stutter. Alright, we can flash in the Drowner. Save removal. As long as we have one creature that can hit, we'll be in good shape. Okay. That's fine. Can turn this on. Same with this. Do 6 damage and then hold up a... Let's do that. We're going to hope we draw land. I'd rather do that than pump into that. I don't want to give them sorcery speed removal for the Relentless Reef, so that's why I did that instead of the Sanctuary. We already saw the split up, so yeah, draw 4 cards. Can discard a starting town. I really kind of want to keep up a counterspell. We have another one here. Lost that one. They do have quite a bit of... okay, well, we can just Honor that. GG's. Alright, opponent goes first in this one. We do have land, we got creatures, we've got a Kaito. We're going to be taking quite a bit of damage from this. Looks like they're unfortunately going to be ramping out here. We got a graveyard deck? No, landfall. There's the deck being looked up. I think we have to get rid of it. Just kind of requirement. No attack. We'll just block the Chocobo if they try coming in. That thing's going to get unwieldy. Hydra. Okay, we can tap down the Hydra next turn and get rid of it. Yeah, they didn't get me. I was going to kill the Chocobo anyways. There we go. We'll do that instead. Don't need to stop on their phase anymore. Got a second Hydra. Come on. Do we want that land? We're already at 13. I think we do. Don't want to draw another card. We'll tap that. That's okay. Interesting. Go after the elf. Let's make this black. Pay 2 life. Fortunately, we gotta pay for this. And next. This is gonna be a little rougher on this because we're gonna be a third Hydra. Oh, I should have held off. They still had untapped land. That was a mistake. Meant to do that at the end of their turn. Alright. I think we do this. I suppose I could have done this and tapped down their creature. This will allow us to draw a card. I was going to block with this, but they can win out of nowhere if they get the right sequence of cards. And this actually allows them to draw quite a bit, so we should have. Okay. We just need to find removal, actually. Because they're going to be drawing like crazy with this Hydra. Guessing they don't have land. They can attack in if they want. They exiled that too, which is unfortunate. 2 Hydras. So that's the 4th Hydra they played in the top 15 cards of their deck. That is crazy. Alright, no blocks. Down to 6. We're in trouble here. Hate to play another bitter. No, we need to find removal. It doesn't even pay to attack. Want to leave back as much as we can to block. Okay, that's going to allow them to draw. They probably drew, or wondering about drawing a land and how that works. They're not going to attack, I don't think. Oh, they cast the second one. Well, this is interesting. We can actually drown, targeting that Hydra, and attack in here, flip it. We'll go down to 3 life. But we'll have a 4/4. And then on our next turn, we'll lose a life, so we really are flirting with danger here. They're going to be drawing cards like crazy. I don't think we're going to pull this one out, but it'll be interesting. If we would have been able to have this still in play, we'd be in pretty good shape. The only reason I'm not attacking is I want to have enough stuff back to try to block these if they attack in, because they're all trample. I do realize I could have waited a turn and then got rid of the Hydra with the Drowner. That probably would have been a better play now looking at what they actually had to play. But I wanted to be able to have recourse if they could grow the Hydra too much. All right, that makes it a little more challenging. Don't want to necessarily do that. Okay, this one we can do next turn. We will attack with this. That might not have actually been bad to ninjutsu that in, and then we could have recast this, having a blocker, and then we could put a stun counter. Yeah, that was a bit of a misplay, I think. Some stun counter there. Yes, we gotta pay the fee. Yeah, we could have ninjutsu'd that. I guess we couldn't have recast it, though. We didn't have enough mana. Because we would have had to ward it. We can also ninjutsu in a borrower or a drowner. Oh, well, they're going to get quite a bit of land here. That should get this. So that's going to be what, a 12-12? Oh, jeez. Yeah. Good game. All right, opponent goes first on this one. We are odd mana, but we're going to keep this one. We're going to be taking quite a bit of damage here, which is not a bad thing with the Cecil. We'll do blue. Pay 2 life. Back in. All right. We can hex. Oh, no, we can't hex that. We can Drowner it. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to pay 1 life. That. We can pay 2 life. And then that allows us to flip. I don't really care about this creature, so I just want to get him for damage, I think. And ninjutsu that.
Don't be jealous of my temper. The housewarming party has arrived.
And then we can it's only 4. He's going to get him for 2. Let's just get the emblem.
I thrive in the dark.
Okay, you can go after Cecil. That's pretty good. Okay.
Need more intel.
I think we're going to tap that out at the beginning of their turn. And then get that tossed back in their hand. Gonna get rid of our Drowner. We cannot. Well, not yet. Okay. Yes. Resolve. Auto pay.
Out of the shadows and into the fray.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna pay 2 life. We're gonna hex this. Oh shoot, I couldn't attack in. Shoot. That was a mistake. I was going to do the trigger, but yeah, it came from exile, so couldn't attack in. I meant to, I was going to do the 0, but I was going to do it after combat. That was a mistake on my part. Well, let's Hex. Should have paid the additional mana. We could gain life there. Now we can do what I wanted to do. Definitely a lot of misplays that I've been doing with this deck, unfortunately. Not used to these cards. I haven't played them a lot of. Yep. Surveil, draw 2. Get rid of those. That was a pretty good Surveil. Ooh, that's a nice one. Get this into play. Okay. It does have lifelink. Damage. We'll put a stun counter on that, but I don't think it's worth it necessarily. I guess it would help prevent them gaining. Yeah, I guess a stun counter is probably the right thing here.
Control the fight, control the outcome.
You only have one card here. Raise the pass. That's a pretty good card if you got one. Jesus. Alright, neither of these have flying. First things first, that's going into play tap. Heck with those two. Let's draw a card.
Now I know your weakness.
Put it that way. All right. Just block right there. That's a good land. She's going to be untapped. Could get rid of the Kaito and tap her down again. Well, first things first. Let's cycle that back in. 4 damage here. We do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's unfortunate. I think we got to tap her down, though.
I've got them pinned. Press the attack.
Just in case they have removal. I guess we had our land. We could have attacked all. We could have attacked in with one more. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it was definitely a bad choice to get rid of the Kaito. I'm not sure we would have got through this either way. All right. He's going to attack in. Yeah. I think we were one away from winning that last round or that last turn. If I would have plussed the Kaito earlier, I don't know. I think there was a way to win this one, but they got it. Good game. All right, we go first. We'll keep this. I think we'll do the Watery Grave. We could have probably done that to make it look a little different. We'll flash in the Bitterbloom if they don't do anything. Expect them to have removal here, but they don't. All right. Do that to keep the Snare and Bitterbloom up if they don't. Yeah, let's do that. It just gives us more versatility in our hand. Now we could do any combination of these three. Obviously this by itself, but... Is he gonna kill it? I can snare that if he does. Going after the token. I want to snare that. I think I'm okay on the token. I mean, it's just a 1/1. He could do a combination of making me sacrifice. Well, that was pretty good, but we could snare that. That was a perfect one to snare. And he doesn't have that for later if he needs it. Get another one of these guys out. Take 2 damage, but... let's get this in so we can do some drawing as well. Yep. We get an untapped land next turn. They don't have any creatures in the graveyard. Yeah, we can attack in. Interesting. Do we want to do this? Because he's going to have a sweeper next turn, I think. So this might actually be a good thing to do.
Ha! I love a dramatic entrance.
Okay, we're going to draw quite a bit here. Land, land, land. Yeah. We'll do blue, A2 life. We just want to keep that spell stutter up. And we're just going to plus because we don't want an additional card here.
Never underestimate my skills.
We need to discard. We'll discard one of those. And that. Wait, we only need to discard one? Discard that. So we got a lot of fairies. We can counter anything. All right, good game. All right, Dimir Faeries. This is a neat deck. Has a lot of interactions. I would suggest playing this a lot to really get the ins and outs of the deck. I will say that I did screw up a lot of interactions when I was playing, especially with Drowner. I haven't played a ton with these with a lot of the flash effects. I want to get into them a little bit more, but Drowner, you want to make sure that you always do that on their turn. That way you have that ability to get rid of their creature. There, you saw in the game, there was a lot of times I dropped the Drowner just so I can have an attack lane, and I don't think that's the right way to play Drowner. You want to keep that for their turn so you can tap down their creature and get rid of it. Because if you cast this, it has Summoning Sickness, and you can't get rid of it right away. And if you give them a turn to untap, that means that counter, that stun counter goes away. So then you can't get rid of it anymore. So you want to make sure you have that. But all in all, love the interactions with the different cards that you have here. Love playing Kaito. Bitterbloom is awesome with a Cecil as well as with the spell stutter. Definitely those three cards are champions in this deck. Really liking that. I don't know. Did we? We did cast this one turn or one game at least. But all in all, really good deck. Do recommend it. There's a reason why this deck went 5-0 in the SCG event. But if you could, hit that subscribe button below. New videos every day. And if you could also like the video, I appreciate it. Fairly new channel. Trying to get to 3,000 subs. So thank you and have a good day.